one ya on your timeline. Plenty drinks by the bar and one's gas in a me car and run the clock. No one a shot. And so we do it anytime we touch a road. And we reach by the gate, we party. We don't start the party. It's pure bacchanal, and it's uptown party. Oh, it's a downtown vibe, and it's uptown party. Oh, it's a downtown vibe. This is pure
Listen
bacchanal.
all day, every day on your favorite streaming platform. The clean, fresh sound. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
All right, SVG. So the time here, it is now 8:08, and we are back with you for another Activated Mornings program. And in studio, you have Dianna, Cain, Dr. Gerald Thompson, and myself, Roleza. And we are your team for this morning until 10. Doc is in studio. Welcome back, Doc. What's up, Doc?
It's wonderful to be back. I want to apologize, first of all, because as I left England, you know, where I was, the UK, it was raining.
Oh, as you bring the rain.
Boy, I feel guilty. I feel guilty.
Okay,
So,
now we know.
to all those persons who are on vacation and so forth, me apologize. But the farmers, let me take a hands up to you, boy. You know what I mean? I had a great time in England. A number of events, to conferences, and so I went to a conference on breast cancer, the new innovations in this area. Fascinating what's happening, and the role of AI, artificial intelligence today. I also did quite a bit of work on cannabis there in England, and you all should know this afternoon there's a press conference for Cannabis SVG, November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Cannabis SVG. Oh gosh, it's going to be great, but it's really educational.
So at this press conference, there are samples?
No, listen, this is not about getting high and so forth. Medicinal cannabis is not illegal.
But suppose I have an ailment.
Yes, so we will be able to tell people the education as the type of ailments. Cannabis is not to make your hair grow. Cannabis is not to make your nose longer. Cannabis is for 20 specific things, and that we want to talk about. Serious medicine.
Yes.
Although there's the other things that's going to be involved, the traditional cultivators village, the inclusion of the TCs and the Rastafari, how do we do it? You know, issues in relation to quality, all these things we're going to be talking about. But that's for a different time. And that's not the program today. But I tell you, I was able to do something. I met a young man who'd come from Eritrea 3 months ago.
Come from where?
Eritrea. This is
in Africa?
a country in Africa next to Ethiopia, next to Somalia, next to Djibouti. And he told me of his journey, how he went up to Libya, how he took a boat across to Italy, how he journeyed from Italy to France, to Calais, and the 4 months he spent in Calais to come over across the English Channel in a raft, and how he was a refugee and so forth. And that's such a fascinating story. It's a 16-year-old boy. And he tells me in Eritrea, they don't have no internet. They've never had internet in Eritrea. They don't have water. Groundwater is contaminated and all this other stuff. It was a fascinating history to know what is going on in other parts of the world. But anyway, that's just my introduction. I'm back. Great to be back. Great to be back with the girl. I was going to say the girls, but I would say the ladies. You know, so it's wonderful to be in here.
All right. So you come back with all his excitement and energy. But Doc always had energy. I don't understand where Doctor's find his energy from, but Doc always have the energy.
I'm a medical doctor. So basically, I know why energy may be lacking. If you ever have, I know you won't come to me. I know you won't come to me because you will want me to properly examine you you be too shy.
You know, that's interesting. That's a very
You be
interesting
too shy
conversation.
to have me properly examined. Diana, you the same way. You feel too shy about no, you won't be too shy. You would say Doc is a professional. Yes, sir. You would say Doc is a professional. Roleza, I think Roleza would want somebody else.
You know, this is a very interesting conversation. Would I go to somebody who I already know?
But most people already.
I don't know. I know. I think I might probably, like, for a real serious physical exam, apart from who it is that I generally go to, I don't know who it is I would feel comfortable going to otherwise. I'd probably just pick somebody who I don't know in a
But that's why a lot of
situation.
people don't go to doctors.
Yeah.
Because they know them?
Not because they didn't know them, but the personality issues and feeling that their own person is going to be exposed. Their personhood is going to be exposed.
It's weird, Doc.
It was Roleza wouldn't want me as a doctor to know her.
And then I had to see you again in Monday morning face to face. Why we feel uncomfortable?
But Diane, you would look at me as a professional.
How you so sure that? Suppose I'm thinking like Roleza, the same way I know you, and then we come in.
No. I think you would look at me as a professional, and that I'm a consummate professional, and that next time you see me, you won't be wondering if I go talk. I come on radio. I saw Roleza.
No. I would expect that. But talk on a serious note, and this is not the topic that we on first, but we're going to get onto it just now. When you are passing a patient in the street, do you acknowledge that person?
Absolutely. Matter of fact, in the past, my patients have loved me. You understand? I have, when I first came back to St. Vincent,
I want to know why is that, but continue. We'll find out after.
It's a bedside kind of manner. And females also gravitate to me quite a bit, or have done in the past. And it is part of making somebody feel comfortable, right? It is certainly not passing your place and so forth, but it is also setting a particular standard. In the United States, where I mainly practiced, when I went in to see a female patient, I had an escort. For medical legal purposes, I would have my assistant come in at the same time if I'm going to do an exam. So that, one, I could not be accused of deliberately touching a female in one way, which could happen, which could be the accusation could happen at that was how you were advised. You always had somebody, but like an elderly lady, you wouldn't do that. But persons like you, Roleza, I would make sure I have an escort in.
What? How you really view me? I don't understand this.
I'm telling you, if I am examining Roleza in a private way to do a proper diagnosis, I can't watch her and be afraid and say, "Here, take these 2 tablets." Because she'll leave and say, "Why, that doctor ain't examining me to give me tablets." But if I were to examine her from a private point of view and make a proper diagnosis, there are things that she may feel uncomfortable with. And it may be normal to do that, but she may think that I am touching her for just a little too long, or I'm touching her just a little too hard or too soft or something like that. And she could leave. That Dr. Thompson, I ain't sure about him.
Yeah, perv.
Or better yet, she liked me. And let me say this word on radio, she was aroused in some way. You understand? And that happens with male patients too, with female doctors. They could get aroused and they're wondering. These strange things go through people's mind. That may not be the case. So having an escort, there's someone who's a witness, right, who would say that, no, this never happened, that never happened, in case 1 in 1,000 somebody was to make that accusation. And so it's important.
I remember the reason why I asked, I remember friends saying that there's a particular doctor here in SVG. When she passes her in the street, that the doctor does not acknowledge her, even though she goes to her. You know, so I wondered if it was something that
You know something? It's important
But
as
you-
a doctor.
you wanted the doctor to acknowledge.
no,
a
as in maybe just like a
professional
nod to have
professional
acknowledgement,
relationship-
not really
okay.
A
to
professional
yeah.
relationship is also not a
Oh.
friendship.
Mm.
Some
Well,
patients,
true.
some patients
True.
feel they are your friend,
Mhm.
and they also extend it. Well, you should not charge me. You know what I mean? Or you should give me extra time, or I could walk into the clinic without an appointment, or at any time because you know me. You know, I'm your relative, or I live nearby.
I'm
or
always coming to you.
I'm always coming to you. And so there are a number of standard things. So there's a distance that you have to keep from a professional point of view to keep things at a particular level. But at the same time, you're a human being too. So you're friendly, you know, you will joke, you know, you will laugh at the same thing patients laugh at. And you know, patients will bring you in an orange and a mango, and bring you in flowers, and bring you in different things and so forth. And that those things happen.
Okay.
You know,
Interesting.
and let me tell you, and also there'll be patients who are also attracted to you.
Yes.
There are patients who are also attracted to you, and this will go for any profession. Maybe attracted to their lawyer, maybe attracted to, you know, their teacher. You know, have you ever seen a young lady attracted to a teacher, a teenage?
I personally
person?
have in school. That was one of the strangest experiences. But anyways.
Yes. Well, anyway, listen. The topic. Let's say we have to, you know, release that.
All right. So we are on the topic of sons attacking their mothers, land them in court. And there's actually two stories. One that we came across on Eyewitness News, and the other that I saw in the Vincentian. So Dianna could probably take the lead with the one on Eyewitness.
All right. So on Eyewitness News, the article is entitled "Man 39 Denies Beating His Mom for Not Giving Him Birthday Gift." A 39-year-old Redemption Chap's man is to be tried on Monday on an allegation that he beat up his 58-year-old mother because she did not give him a birthday gift. The man, Atiba Phillips, however, admitted to the serious offences court that he damaged her cell phone as charged and her bedroom door, for which he was not charged. He pleaded guilty before Senior Magistrate Colin John to charges that on August the 4th at Redemption Shops, without lawful excuse, he damaged the one black DLT smartphone valued at $475 EC, the property of Marlene Phillips of Redemption Shops, and was reckless as to whether such property would be damaged. He also pleaded guilty to assaulting Phillips on that same date at Redemption Shops, causing actual bodily harm. Presenting the facts, prosecutor, acting corporal of police 745 Harry, said that the defendant and his mother live in the same household, but the defendant is very disrespectful of his mother and other family members. The prosecutor said that on August 4th, about 9 a.m., the virtual complainant was at home and the defendant started to curse and behave aggressively because he did not receive any gift for his birthday. The VC paid him no attention. She left home and proceeded to a shop, but while she was leaving the yard, the defendant told her he would follow her and beat her with a piece of board. On her way back, she heard the defendant's voice from afar. On her return home, she went into the shop that she owns, which is attached to the dwelling house. The defendant continued to argue, telling his mother he did not like her and would kill her. The defendant held onto his mother's clothes, lifted her up, and threw her onto the public road. He dragged her about 10 feet from where she landed, resulting in injuries to her right hand and right knee. The woman's phone was in her right back pocket and the screen was badly cracked as a result of the incident. The VC made a report to the police and was issued with medical injury forms, which she later returned, completed with the doctor's findings. The defendant was arrested on August 16th and later charged. However, in mitigation, the defendant told the court that his mother had just gotten into an accident involving a passenger van. He said that it was not true that he had dragged her at her home on August 4th. Listen to me. This is what he's saying. Listen to me. Sometimes I can't explain in court. I was guilty of certain things that the lady read out. I did not drag her. That's what he told the court. The defendant then gave a version of what happened. He further told the court that he is from Gibson Corner, but he moved to Sharps to be with his mother when he was 10 years old. What I am asking you, I would like to move out of my mother's place. That's what he told the court. And the magistrate asked, so what is stopping you? All right. He said he would like to have a police officer escort him to remove his property from his mother's house, adding that he would pay her back for the things that he damaged. He further told the court that he was guilty for some things, like damaging the bedroom door. However, John told the defendant that there was nothing before the court in relation to the damage of the bedroom door. Shall I go on, or we could stay there?
We could stay there.
Okay.
All right. So that is one situation or one story where we have youngish man, he's 39. 39 is still young. Who beat his mother because she did not give him a birthday gift. And that one was read from Eyewitness News. Now, there's another story that I came across in the Vincentian for last Friday, where a Junie, I believe it's a Junie Grant, an 18-year-old Form 2 student. Wait, I didn't even pick up on that. All right. A Junie Grant, an 18-year-old Form 2 secondary school dropout of Richland Park, who attacked his mother, Kenisha Grant, with a knife last Sunday, was jailed for 1 year on Wednesday. All right, I'm going to read the whole after just certain parts. The youngster was sentenced to 1 year for assaulting his mother, causing her bodily harm, but was reprimanded and discharged on the charge of assaulting his mother with the intent to commit an offense, to wit, bodily harm. On Friday, on August 30th, around 9 p.m., the woman was at home with her son when he asked her to buy money for food. All right, so I'm just going to jump to the other part. On Saturday, so there was a situation where he went to get food from the neighbor, asked for money instead. All right, so he brandished a knife and then he went into his room after he was confronted. On Saturday, August 31st, at about 9:30, the boy was reported to be brandishing the knife. He approached his mother, who was cleaning her room, held her by her throat and began choking her with his left hand while putting the knife in his right hand against her throat. She held on to the knife, wrestled with him, and the knife broke. And in the process, the woman managed to escape, ran to her neighbors and ran outside and called on her neighbors for help. They came to her assistance and her son left. And after the matter was reported, and he ended up going to court, where he is going to serve a year in prison. Now, I found these stories to be interesting, and what really came to mind was part of me wondering how much does this happen in our society, because of the fact that these two stories came to our attention. But I often wonder how many parents, how many mothers suffer, it's domestic abuse at the hands of their children, right? In this case, in the case that I read from the Vincentian, with the Richland Park dropout, what it is that I got to understand is that he does have a bit of mental issues. And part of me wonders what is going to happen when he comes out of prison after doing that year. I would probably want to tell the mother that she should not allow him back in the house, right?
Yeah.
But the thing of it is that he's also her only child.
Oh.
And I know that there are many mothers, their heartstrings will be pulled on because of the fact that they are going to be so much more concerned about their child's safety as opposed to their own.
Yeah. I don't know what to say either. I don't know what to say in relation to this. The first one, I'm still trying to wrap my head around. You beat up your mommy because he didn't get a birthday gift.
At 39,
no, he is whose I'm wondering about. His mental state. His mental state is what I'm wondering about.
The birthday gift is a journalist. Right, we focus on that.
Mm-hmm.
This concept is called CPV. Child to parent violence. And this is as opposed to parent to child violence. Now, a lot of studies have been done in this. I remember every year when I practiced in the United States, we used to have to do something called an NIA, non-accidental injury course, to make sure we're able to pick up a child who is like, but it hasn't been studied well. Child to parent violence, but some studies have been done. And it shows some interesting things. It shows that both sons and daughters do induce violence against parents. That the violence against the fathers is much, much lower. It's usually to the mothers. Males have a greater incidence of violence to the mother than females, but it is more prevalent at a younger age. So this male who's 39 years old, in other cases, it should be someone who is under 15 and so forth. A younger age is more prevalent. And they found that it's related to several things. If in the family there has been violence of the father against the mother, and the child is witnessing that for a certain proportion, males would go and defend their mother, but for others, it induces that they too have a tendency to want to hit their mothers too. It's a fascinating field of study. And other things, corporal punishment. This is the strangest thing. They found in families where there hasn't been corporal punishment, and there may be some bias in this study, the incident of CPV, child to parent violence, is rare. But where there has been, whether father or mother, violent beating of a child, not talking spanking a child for discipline, but severe violence against children that would come up to non-accidental injury. You go to school and a teacher has to report it and all that kind of thing to the child welfare system because a child is being abused by a parent, that it is those times that you're going to see the highest incidence of males attacking their mothers. So I want to discount the fact that it's birthday. I suspect this is something that is not a new incident, right? It's something that's been going on for a little while, but those elements have been there for some time. In the story, it says, he was living somewhere else. He moved up to this area
10,
recently. And so
10.
It's sad and very, very sad. And we have to pay some attention to it. Now, I'm not saying there should not be corporal punishment, but I'm talking about severe violence against, and we could all understand child abuse. Where there has been child abuse, watch out for young males in particular attacking mothers and so forth. You know what I mean? Whether it's the mother's causing the child abuse or whether it's the father attacking the mother, there's a kind of a loss of respect for the mother in some cases. She's nothing. The
views on women have views on women or their opinions of women have diminished.
And you mark my word, they too will have a higher risk of being abusive to other women who may not be their mothers. It's a fascinating field that isn't set in stone, but a lot of work has been done on this, albeit less work done on CPV, child to parent violence. More work has been done on PCV, parent to child violence.
All right. So we just started the topic, but just to announce, courts, if you can call us at this time, we would have that call. But until we get the call, then we will continue speaking. All right. So courts, you can call us at this time. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that
It's
all right. So we're standing by to connect with to receive a call from the court's representative. Right. But the thing, Doc, it worries me, right? Because one of the things is when parents get older, right? Sometimes you see that the tables have turned in terms of that. What's the word?
Discipline and
not so much discipline, but who has the authority within a household? Because when you're a child and you're growing up, you had to listen to what your parents say, right?
Yeah.
To whatever your parents said or whatever your parents did towards you, you had to do it, right? Or you had to take it, especially in the case of abuse, right? I just don't want to say corporal punishment, but abuse. And what you tend to find is that unless there are issues that are resolved between those parents and their children, many of them or some of them may wait I am the big man now. And it even happens with daughters. I'm not going to discount that it doesn't happen with daughters. That many of them, because now the tables have turned where the parent may somewhat be dependent on their child, that violence is meted out towards the parent. And I think sometimes unless you have resolved issues, or even cases where like in one of these stories when he said that he wants to move out, for the life of me I could never understand where if a parent and a child live together in a household and the child recognizes that they're not getting along with their parent, why don't they just move out? If you have the ability to move out, then you leave. There are too many times when I see households or situations where there is sustained or prolonged tension within the family when the simple thing to do, I mean, and I'm saying simple in the context of being able to afford it. Why don't they just leave? Why continue the tension within the household? Because tension could then lead to violence.
The issue you mentioned, if they can afford it, is usually the opposite. Usually that young male, he's got sporadic jobs. There are times he does, but he wants to go out, he wants to party, he wants to drink, he runs out of money. He may start to steal. This lady at a shop, I imagine, does he go in and take out a few beers, high room beers and drinks and so forth from time to time? Does he go grab a corned beef? Does he go there? How is he maintained? In other words, yes, if he is working and he could move out and get a place of his own, but is that really sufficient? It's usually the opposite, that he doesn't have any, and the mother is naturally pressing him and saying, you should work, you should go out and get a job, you should do something. And they may feel nagged. They may feel, that, they may start to question, what have you done for me? Right? And that's where I go. I left it out. I say, ignore it. You ain't give me no present. You ain't give me nothing. You ain't give me this and so forth. Of course, he was given life. You know what I mean? But he may think that he should be given more. Right? And even though he's 39, he should continue still to be given more because she has more than him. So I don't think it's a situation where he hasn't this easy to move out. Now he said, I'm going to move out now, but you bet he's going to slip down the social ladder in terms of being able to afford where he's going, being able to pay rent and all them kind of things.
Yeah, but then why keep up the tension? Because you see what is happening. Oh, we have the call from Courts. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, and how are you?
I'm all right, thanks.
All right, so you are live.
Hi, good morning, everybody. I'm calling from Coates Optical, and I'm here to just give some information about a promotion for the month of September. Well, what can I say? It's a rainy morning, and I hope everybody is dry and inside. Because the traffic in Kingston is terrible with this rain.
Ooh, okay.
So straight off the bat, I'm just going to say what our promotion is for the month of September. We have quite a bit of things that we're going to speak about this morning. And one of them is our primary promotion, which is Vivid Views at Coates Optical, value you can see. And with that, you get 50% off your credit purchases once you would have purchased glasses, both frame and lens. With us, you get 50% off your purchase, just like that. And that's for the month of September. We know that the past 2 months was very hard, considering the passing of Hurricane Beryl. So now we want to give back to the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines where their eyes are concerned. And they will get 50% off their credit purchase once they come in. Again, the eye examination is completely free, and you can always book your appointment with us at www.coatesoptical.com, or you can walk in and speak to any one of our agents there, or you can call 456-1325 at any of our extensions, 2271, 2272, or 2273. Now, we also have offers for persons who wish to purchase cash. Not everybody wants to purchase on credit. So for persons who want to purchase on cash, we have 25% off your purchase once you do lens and frame with us. So your entire glasses, if you're going to do a cash purchase, it's 25% off. Simple as that. And again, it's Vivid Views. You know, we have to use our eyes for everything that we do. So we want to make sure that the prices are affordable to our customers. On top of that, we also have our senior citizen promotion that is currently running. It's ongoing. There isn't an end date as yet for that one. And with that, senior citizens can take advantage of this promotion every first and third Wednesday in every month. So once you come into the store, we would have free blood pressure checks, free blood sugar checks for senior citizens that come in on those days, every first and third Wednesday, where they would also get 50% off their glasses. And for their dependents and other family members who might come into the store with them, they get 35% off their purchase as well. Nurses are in store on each day for blood pressure and blood sugar testing. And we also have birthday promotion that is ongoing. So you get 50% off your frame or sunglasses and 30% off contact lens if you do wear contact lens. Now, persons might ask, so what if I would have celebrated my birthday last month? Well, we still extend the offer to persons. So if you're shopping this month, but you would have celebrated your birthday in August, you also get the opportunity to get 50% off any frame that you wish to choose, wish to purchase, or sunglasses, and 30% off contact lenses. Now, just like everything else, offers cannot be combined. So if you want to take advantage of the promotion for September, obviously you won't be able to take advantage of the 50% off your frame or sunglasses or contact lens. It's either or.
Okay.
Yes. For those of you who doesn't know where we're located in the Coates branch, at the back of the building, the exit leading to Middle Street. That's directly opposite the financial complex for those who are still confused. So you come into that building, the yellow building, Courts, come to the back with the exit leading to Middle Street, and we're right there in that red section. As soon as you see the frames, you'll know what you're looking for. You can always contact us at the numbers that I would have previously spoken about. And those numbers again are 456-1325. You can reach us at extension 2271, 2272, or 2273. You can call us direct on WhatsApp at 494-2337. Someone would always answer your message within at least an hour. So just give us that time so that we can respond to your message. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday, 8 to 4. On Saturday, 8 to 12. We do not conduct clinic on a Saturday. That's for inquiries, bill payments, etc. So if you want to do that, that's on a Saturday. But for eye examination, it's Monday to Friday, 8 to 4. Yeah. So if anybody has any questions, they can always come in and speak to us. We're here to help. We're so full of information regarding eye care. So just come in and take advantage of that. Your eye examination is always free.
All right, great. And thank you very much. It's free. There is prompt assistance, especially with the communications via WhatsApp, because that's what we always like, right? To make it easier for us. All right. And free eye care, free eye attendance, or free check-in. Right. And you can also take your glasses out on credit, right? You don't have to have that money up front. All right. So Coates is making it so much easy for us to have perfect vision, right?
That's good. Yeah. Also, if you want to visit our social media pages, it's Facebook and Instagram, Coates Optical, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. All the information regarding our offers, change of time, extended time, everything that you want to know about, it's always posted on our social media pages, Facebook and Instagram, Coates Optical, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So check us out. We're here to help.
All right, great. So thank you very much for joining us this morning, and we're hoping that you're going to be able to stay inside today so that you don't get wet, nice and dry.
I don't go outside at all. When it's sun or rain, I'm still inside because the sun is a different type of sun these days.
Girl, you're telling me.
So I'm going inside today.
Okay. All right. Well, very well then. So thanks again for calling and have a good one today.
Well, thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye. And that was our Coates desk for today. So we are going to take a quick commercial break and then we'll be back with our topic for this morning.
Get vivid views at Quartz Optical. View the world in the latest frames and lens. Double your savings with 50% off credit purchases, 24 months and over. 25% off cash purchases. Wear it now and pay later. Plus, you can book your eye examination appointment online today on www.quartzoptical.com. Get vivid views only at Quartz Optical. Value you can see. Offer ends September 2024.
WEFM reminds and encourages the general public and users of the Kittles Beach to keep it clean at all times. Discard of all garbage properly. It is illegal to remove the sand from the beach. Let us keep the Kittles Beach and other beaches across St. Vincent and the Grenadines clean, so that you and I can enjoy it and marine life can survive. This is a message from WEFM 99.9, the clean, fresh sound.
Did you know? Have you used them? Virtus, Medushi, Lilies. These are among the best bathroom tissue products available any place. Excellent quality, larger sheet sizes, and more sheets per roll. Check them out and compare with others. And guess what? Guess what? These are produced right here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I tell you, Vinci's have class. Yes, real class as always. Let's keep our standards high. Buy Virtus, Medushi, and Lilies. Made by St. Vincent Containers.
Good morning, students.
Good morning, teacher.
Let's head back to school.
It's time to get the children ready to head back to school with a back-to-school loan from First National Bank. Get up to $30,000 for all your back-to-school needs. No deposit required, low interest rates, and an easy process. Visit us at Heritage Square or call 456-1501 for more information. Let's head back to school with First National Bank. Terms and conditions apply. First National Bank, here for you.
Hassle-free loans for your every need. Cards have you covered, best believe. Cards Ready Cash is for everyone. Not to worry, fast approval. Hurry up and come. We got it all. We on the go. Cards Ready Cash, you already know. We got it all. We on the go. Cards Ready Cash, always ready when you're ready. Let's go.
Cards Ready Cash, ready when you are.
Listen all day, every day on your favorite streaming platform. The clean, fresh sound. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
So we are back with, we're continuing the conversation that we started regarding two incidents that we came across in the news for sons who attacked their mothers, which landed them in court. All right. And we're just talking about various factors in relation to this situation of parents who abuse children who abuse their parents. All right. So we had some comments, Dianna.
All right, so somebody is saying here, too many mothers pamper their sons. They laugh at negative behavior when children are young. Another person wants to know, would you agree that smother love is a passive form of child abuse?
That what?
Smother love. I guess when you...
Well, again, I want to say that pampering and all those sort of things do not seem to be related to CPV, child to parent violence. It might mean that the child may not know how to cook, may not know how to do things, may not do other sort of things. But we must also link violence with verbal abuse so that these young men are going to have problems with the court for the law of physical violence. But how much verbal abuse were they also given over a period of time? Calling their mother this, calling their mother that, without the violence, but that is considered to be
it is verbal abuse.
You know, so it's verbal abuse. It's part of the abuse. So the two questions persons are asking, they're not part of the solution. Don't smother your kids, therefore they won't do violence. Don't smother your kids. They may not develop properly and other thing, but it doesn't mean that they're going to have violence against their mothers. The studies haven't shown that. You know what I'm saying? It is that when young men in particular witness that their mothers are either being beaten or there's physical things in the family of abuse and so, that they have a tendency to abuse too. You understand? That's the funny thing. That's what we do. So the two callers, I think, are very interesting, but the studies have shown differently. If in answering your question,
I think one of the things that we should, or we don't do normally when we hear stories like this, we don't really do a backtrack. But I think sometimes we really need to do that, because while we do blame children and especially adults, you have to take accountability for your actions. We have to also look into the upbringing, because as the caller said here, well, not the caller, somebody mentioned something about parents looking at negativity and laughing it off and things like that. We do have that, you know, in the way that some mothers would bring up their sons. They don't realize that what you're training them, how you're training them when they're small is going to affect you and them when they get older. So certain things you may accept, oh, they're small and I'm accepting this. Also, we raise our sons and our daughters differently, and then later on in life complain about how our sons behave. In some cases, not all, right? We basically, in Caribbean society, boys will be boys, they say, you know, boys are allowed to do whatever. They have more freedom to do certain things. Some things that you want to keep the girls in the house doing, you may not keep the boys in the house doing. And then they become a man, and you want them to all of a sudden be this exemplary young boy that you didn't even raise. Where would he get that from? You know, you didn't train him to be a particular. He may have been speaking to you a kind of way, and you just brush it off. And then he becomes a big man now. And at that point, you can handle it. Or maybe he does it in public and you're embarrassed and you want to, you know, they say you have to bend a tree when it is young, you know. So sometimes that occurs, because I know of mothers who raise their sons a particular way. They allow them to get away with anything they want to get away with. You don't have to do anything in this house. You don't have to wash, cook, clean, help me. You don't have to go to the shop, nothing. And then they become adults. And they do the same thing. I'm not doing any of this. And all of a sudden it's a problem, because boy now help me do nothing. Me can't get the boy for do this. So me talk to the boy now listen. But that's how you raise them. You know, so now it's a you problem. You know,
all right. So persons, if you wish to lend your voice to this discussion, you can call us at 457-9997. That is a number for both the landline as well as WhatsApp. All right. So you can get in on this discussion regarding parent and child interaction, and more so when adult children abuse their parents.
I don't know. You know, Dianna.
Someone says
Dianna,
they deal with those cases daily.
But no, Dianna.
This kind, yeah.
I think we are talking about some different things.
Okay.
And if on the topic we're trying to find out why a child beats a mother, that's one issue. And it's jumbled up. So now in terms of our boy doesn't make a good husband, right?
I don't think it's that.
I was going to go on. A good husband, a grateful son as she grows up, somebody who is attendant to it. I've just come from the UK. Elderly persons, and I might be criticized, as soon as they reach a certain age, a nursing home. Thrown in a nursing home. We here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we have a greater tendency, even though that's changing too, of somebody in the family staying with that elderly person and helping to care for them. We're a lot more care. And I've seen so many men who are so involved in their mother's care. They love their mother because their mother was so good to them. You understand? whether their mother pampered them. Like, I mean, I can tell you, my mother used to make some callaloo soup, the best callaloo soup ever. Why was there a need for me to make callaloo soup when my mother made that callaloo soup?
So you could learn how to make,
learn.
you know what the parents are saying, if you're not learning for cook, woman go make style for you.
Woman make style of me, but, and therefore, I might go out and buy some Kentucky and so forth instead. But, Diana, that would not make me go and hit my mother.
But I think in the case,
so we shift in the topic. Yeah. We shift in the topic about child rearing, as opposed to what causes this incident a child.
Okay, I think the angle that Dianna was going down was when a mother does not allow the child to do certain things in the home, then when he gets older, he is going to have this same opinion that his mother has to do. And when she refuses to do it because you're looking at him as being an adult now, then there are problems that would happen.
Yes, theoretically that is true, and I'm still saying that is related to how that male has grown to be self-sufficient, whether he's able to go off to college and cook and save money, or whether he's able to then meet someone and the interaction he will have with another female, and whether, she is able to spin him wrong and abuse, all the kind of things. But I still bring it back home in the topic. The tendency to abuse your mother is rare on the doorstep. Not just it doesn't happen, rare on the door. That's not where the link is. You understand? So let's link it to something else.
But he might not abuse his mother, but it's the way in which he would interact with other females in terms of having this dependency on other females. But not even a dependency, is making an assumption that this is the woman's role.
I'll tell you something. It's strange what's going on in the United States today in terms of the Republicans and Democrats. The guy, J.D. Vance, is saying that women shouldn't work. They should stay at home and care for the family, care for the kids and so forth, and things like that. You know what I mean? And that is a better structure in the family. All this stuff is slightly different. And grandparents, they must then take over the care of kids and so forth as well when the parents have to go. It's a funny way of approach, because when you go back to things like in other countries, Africa and so forth, who's involved, and it's a complex issue. It's a complex issue based on money, based on collecting revenue, based on men having sometimes to go far away to work and send back money and all that kind. Women have to go back and travel the distances to work and come back money. So it's a bit complex, the whole rearing of families and how do you get it right.
Yeah.
Somebody comment. Joshua, I gasped at your comment. Joshua says that his 4-year-old neighbor calls his grandmother a bitch and she laughs.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something. When I was telling you that the tendency for abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse. So that's an example of verbal abuse.
And this is a way of letting things slide, because the thing of it is that if she pulled this child up as a 4-year-old, then it's not going to happen. Then what happens when he becomes 18?
She should, but that's not the parent. The parent should pull up that child. And we don't know if there's a parent involved, or the grandparent is the one who's involved.
Raising him, or we don't
grandmother
know.
Raising him, and the grandmother, mother thing. You're right about that. The circumstance and context is
but I suppose to bring it back home to Vinci. I wonder what methods of or what redress do most parents, in a sense, have here for whenever they're going through these type of situations. Because again, with this, if the story of the boy who brandished a knife against his mother, what would she do, or what can she actually do when he comes out of prison? Because where is he going to live? Ideally, for me, on the outside looking at the situation, would suggest to her that he does not come back in the home, because if he's suffering from mental issues and he has done this before, I dread that when he comes out of prison, what could possibly happen afterwards?
It's dangerous.
So dangerous. What is there for as a form of redress? Is it a case where family members have to now be that support structure for this mother? What do parents who find themselves being abused, how do they get themselves out of this situation.
A part of it is what happens over the next year whilst he's in prison. If this matter is addressed in any way, or if it's left to fester. And I think there are some mechanisms. There are lots of social workers that are attached to the prisons, attached to mental institutions and so forth. And there can be, if this matter needs addressing, there can be somebody who could help resolve this. But let's assume it isn't resolved at all and there's no attention given to it. Then it can continue after he comes out. Matter of fact, he could become very violent.
You know what it is I am actually questioning as well. Do parents recognize when they are being abused?
Oh, you bet they recognize.
They probably don't look at it as abuse.
They probably don't look at it as being abused. They just look at it as my child cussing me.
For example, the grandparent being called a bitch by a 4-year-old. I don't think we should do that.
No, I
parents. In other words, this particular lady with it, who called the police? Was the parent? Right, probably, or a neighbor.
The neighbors, she ran outside, and because of the attention, I guess maybe neighbors might have encouraged her too.
You're running outside, you know you're abused. You're running for your life, you know you're abused. Abuse is abuse. In the same way, women know that they're being abused, but
do some women know that they're being abused?
Yes, they know they're being abused, but in terms of the other factors, then they can't leave the setting. They can't leave their kids, or they don't know if they could survive elsewhere. The support system.
Or maybe they think that this is how this man shows that he loves me. No, that's why I'm saying for some women, they may not recognize that they're being abused.
It may be that initially, but sooner or later, she realizes that it's abuse.
We have a call, Doc.
Yeah.
Headphones. Doc.
Hi, good morning.
Yes.
Hi, Coach. Good morning.
Good morning. Morning. I agree with Diana. That pampering thing is bad. That's why a lot of abusive relationship happen, because man can't cook, he sit at home waiting for wife to come home for cook for him. She come home, she tired, she can't cook, and he mad. Bad. You need to learn to cook as a man. Mother stop pampering kids.
Yes.
Boss, if you can't cook, you're in trouble.
Yes, I agree. You must learn to cook, learn to wash,
learn to do everything yourself.
You must cook shopper wash. You must cook shopper wash. Yes, cook shopper wash. And don't wash your clothes.
On your hand too, just in case the machine break down.
Yes, not to scrub with a blue soap and so forth. Yeah, right. I mean,
especially with these modern day women now, you have to call them modern day women who is.
We ain't doing that.
Gone the days where you as a man, you go out and walk on the woman home and you expect her to meet meals. But them days done gone.
Yes, they are.
And them days ain't coming back. So brothers, start learning to cook.
And mothers.
I'm sorry for that guy because I'm blaming the mother for that guy who beat him up for a gift. Me, when I was a kid, my mother used to give me birthday gifts. Since I grown as a big man, she don't even think about birthday gifts. Sometimes she don't remember my birthday. So you sit down there waiting for your mother to give you a birthday gift and you get mad over that. You should be giving your mother stuff. If there's any giving supposed to be given, you should always be giving your mother stuff for the blessings that she put in for you. You have a house to live in. That's a birthday gift right there. You have places to sleep. You get food. What kind of damn, excuse my language, birthday gift you want? It's bigger than that. Excuse me.
You're excused. All right, Kojo, thank you. Yeah, I mean, maybe it does go back to a bit of family dynamics. And the thing of it too is we may not be able to fully assess or maybe to cast blame just based on the article because we didn't grow up in the environment or the situation with both of them. But I am actually concerned that there might be a lot of parents, and well, we were talking about mothers in this case, but I'd probably look at both genders, mothers and fathers, older mothers and fathers, elder mother and fathers who might be going through this situation and they do not think that they have a voice because they may not recognize it as abuse. So that really is what is my concern. And maybe in this instance too, it goes back to family members within the home. maybe they need to be able to speak to whoever it is inflicting the abuse on whoever. And I hope it's not a gang of them doing it, within the home. But it may also go back to neighbors as well, being a little bit more vigilant, maybe them talking to whichever child is inflicting the abuse. But it is a concern for me because, as persons get older, they get more frail, they're unable to defend themselves. They may not even know how to, let's say you may not want to pick up the phone and call and say, I am being abused, but to send a message so that you can do it silently. They may not know how to do something like that. So it really and truly is a concern for me. And as I said, these are two stories that came to our attention over the weekend, and we don't know how many more situations like this are happening.
Before we go, they didn't mention, just to go back to the one in the newspaper, they didn't mention what sort of mental issues the young man has?
From what I understood is that he abused drugs at an early age. So it stemmed from that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next question. This is for Doc. So, bearing in mind that he's got some sort of mental issues going on, would they give him a counselor in prison? Would he be assigned a counselor? For example, if you attempt suicide and you're on the hospital ward, you will a counselor is going to automatically come to you to talk to you. Would that happen for prison?
The whole process of rehabilitation is something that is there well established. The resources, the amount of St. Vincent's had a problem of late of having a psychiatrist. Our laws would say you need a psychiatrist. They don't say you need a clinical psychologist. We have a great clinical psychologist here in St. Vincent, but we not have a psychiatrist who's a medical doctor as opposed to a psychologist who has gotten clinical training, advanced clinical training. So let me say that there are a number of good counselors here. I've met a lot of them. Whether anybody could have one-to-one where they're being assessed every day, you have your personal counselor, it's a one-to-one, and that's all. No, the individual will be covering 30, 40, 50 persons, and so therefore have to divide up. Just like a doctor, you could go to the doctor when you're sick, and the doctor may follow up on certain things, but may not necessarily come to see you every day and call you every day and find out how you're doing and so forth every single day. You know what I mean? So psychology, psychiatry, and so is established in the prison system. But I feel that there's not enough of them for a full-fledged rehabilitation process where you're seeing results, because people still come out with some very, very negative and violent and other criminal thinking, because they're also being influenced by other people inside there too. There's all sorts of factors, but there is an established program.
All right, it's a heavy one. It's a heavy one, but I suppose it's... Doc, I know we need to jump up. Let me ask this other question too. When is it a standard question? Let's say an elderly person goes to visit the doctor at the clinic or wherever. Do they ask them about their well-being? Are you being properly taken care of, etc.? Because the reason for asking it is maybe through asking that question, how they actually be treated might come out in that conversation. So is it like a standard question that they ask?
Can I tell you something? Well, that's one thing I love St. Vincent for. I've seen practice in England. I've seen practice in various states in the United States. You have no knowledge if somebody lives in Brooklyn, Queens, New Jersey, what's happening around them. Whereas here, because we have not only district hospitals and polyclinics, we have clinics in a given area, we have community nurses. Boy, those community nurses who are from the communities, they live in the communities, they know what is going on in Rosebank. They know what's going on in Rose Hall, and they hear, they get the information, they know what is going on because they live probably 100 feet, 100 yards away from these individuals. So there's a lot more knowledge available in the system about what people are going through, and they would know about that. So they also have a home care for the elderly program here in St. Vincent, that very elderly persons who may need that extra help and people can't support it, they assign a specially trained person to go in, make sure the person take their medication, eat their food, and so forth. So I'm saying there's backup that I haven't seen elsewhere in other countries. And I hope that answered your question, Jerry. Yes, community nurses and the nursing system in a clinic in a given area would know. You understand? I mean, the person who's the head of the hospital may not know, but there are people who would know what is going on in the community and be able to make those referrals and interventions.
Okay. All righty. So we have to jump out at this time. We are like 5 minutes behind schedule, but it's informative discussion. Yes. So right.
You shouldn't ask me that last question.
No, I needed to. Yeah, kind of. All right, so we are going to jump out at this time and bring to you today's easy to be currency exchange rates.
WEFM, the clean, fresh sound.